The raindrops tapped gently against the window pane, casting a melancholic melody in the small, cluttered apartment. The room was dimly lit, filled with shelves upon shelves of scientific literature, beakers, and test tubes strewn about like artifacts of a forgotten civilization. Dr. Daniel Reynolds sat at his cluttered desk, hunched over his laptop, wary eyes fixated on lines of code that danced across the screen. For years, Daniel had dedicated himself to the pursuit of scientific advancement, seeking solace in the sterile halls of pharmaceutical research. He had climbed the ladder of success, his name etched on countless research papers, and his expertise sought by colleagues and competitors alike. But the relentless grind of corporate science had left him hollow, a mere cog in a wheel that seemed to turn without purpose. As the rain pitter-pattered outside, Daniel's mind began to wander. He yearned for a different life, one where his passion for chemistry could flourish, unrestrained by the shackles of conformity. The idea had been quietly brewing in his mind for months, a seed of rebellion that threatened to engulf his every thought. With a sudden surge of determination, Daniel slammed shut his laptop, sending ripples through the stagnant air of the room. It was time for a change, a bold leap into the unknown. He would retire from the stifling embrace of corporate science and forge his path as an independent inventor. As the rain showered the city in a cascading symphony, Daniel envisioned a device that would revolutionize the world of chemistry. He dreamed of a desktop machine, a technological marvel that would possess the power to synthesize any chemical with unmatched precision. Microfluidic reactors and complex software would unite, a harmonious blend of art and science, offering a glimpse into a future where chemistry was accessible to all. With trembling hands, Daniel reached for a notebook nestled amongst the chaos on his desk. It was tattered and worn, a testament to the countless ideas and dreams that had been etched upon its weathered pages. This would be his manifesto, the blueprint for his grand invention. Page after page, Daniel meticulously sketched the intricate design of the machine that existed only within his imagination. The device would be a marriage of form and function. Its sleek exterior housing, a symphony of microscale channels and pumps, each one meticulously crafted to facilitate the seamless creation of chemical compounds. The software would be the conductor, orchestrating a dance of atoms and molecules, transforming the intangible into the tangible. As he sketched, Daniel's mind raced with excitement. The possibilities were endless: life-saving medications, eco-friendly materials, the very building blocks of progress lay within his grasp. No longer confined by the constraints of corporate bureaucracy, he would become the architect of a new era in chemistry. But a tinge of doubt still clung to his thoughts, like a persistent shadow lurking in the corners of his mind. Could he truly bring his vision to life? Would the world embrace his creation, or would it be dismissed as the fanciful musings of a disillusioned scientist, determined to silence his inner skeptic? Daniel rose from his desk and walked towards the window. He pushed open the creaking frame, and a rush of fresh rain, washed air filled the room. The cityscape sprawled before him, a tapestry of lights shimmering in the distance, a reminder of the vast potential that lay beyond his window pane. Daniel took a deep breath, allowing the rain-soaked air to rejuvenate his weary soul. He knew that his journey would not be easy, that it would require countless hours of dedication, sacrifice, and belief in his own abilities. The rain-soaked streets glistened under the dim glow of flickering streetlights, casting long, distorted shadows on the asphalt. Daniel Reynolds, now a recluse in his basement laboratory, toiled away in secrecy, his hands covered in grease and his eyes darting between circuits and microfluidic chips. The prototype of his revolutionary desktop chemical synthesizer stood before him, an embodiment of his tireless determination. Whiskey bottles lined the shelves, remnants of his weary nights, as the weight of his clandestine mission pressed upon his tired shoulders. The noir atmosphere of his new life seemed to echo the doubts that lingered in the recesses of his mind. Could he escape the clutches of his past and find solace in his newfound solitude? Or was he merely trading one prison for another? As Daniel meticulously assembled the final components of the prototype, he couldn't help but feel a lingering sense of unease. He had been careful, he thought, keeping his ambitions hidden from prying eyes. But secrets have a way of unraveling, like threads in an old suit, exposing the truth beneath the veneer. It was on one of those restless nights that Daniel found himself confiding in his neighbor, Mrs. Jennings, an elderly woman whose curiosity had often led her to pry into the lives of those around her. An unexpected flicker of trust ignited within him, and he revealed to her the nature of his invention, a desktop machine that could synthesize any chemical, an innovation that could change the world. But little did Daniel know that Mrs. Jennings had ties to a world far darker than he could have ever imagined. Unbeknownst to him, her son was a prominent mobster, a man with influence that reached deep into the underbelly of the city. News of Daniel's invention reached him through the twisted grapevine of illicit dealings, and a chilling smile stretched across his face. A knock on Daniel's door shattered the silence of his sanctuary. His heart quickened, knowing that the shadows of danger had encroached upon his doorstep. With trepidation, he peered through the peephole, only to be met with the menacing gaze of a hulking figure, a thug sent by the mobster to enforce their will. The mobster's demands were simple and sinister: produce a steady supply of illicit drugs, exploiting the power of Daniel's invention for their nefarious purposes. But Daniel's moral compass refused to waver. He had dedicated his life to the pursuit of science for the betterment of humanity, not to facilitate the downfall of society. In a defiant act of self-preservation, Daniel rejected the mobster's demands, knowing full well the consequences that would follow. It was a decision that would seal his fate, a choice that would unleash a storm of violence upon his doorstep. As the rain poured down, a sinister assassin was dispatched to silence Daniel Reynolds, to snuff out the flame of innovation that threatened the delicate balance of power. But destiny, it seemed, had other plans. In the dead of night, as the assassin's footsteps echoed through the empty alleyways, Daniel managed to elude his killer by the narrowest of margins. The thunderous crack of a gunshot shattered the stillness, a haunting reminder of the danger that lurked just beyond his reach. With a newfound sense of purpose and a heart pounding with adrenaline, Daniel vanished into the shadows, leaving behind the life he once knew. He became a ghost, a figure lurking in the forgotten corners of the city, blending into the tapestry of the night. From the depths of anonymity, Daniel set out on a quest for redemption, fueled by the pursuit of justice and a steadfast belief in his invention. The world beneath the city's surface became Daniel's refuge, a labyrinthine sanctuary hidden from prying eyes. In the depths of his subterranean hideout, he erected walls of steel and circuitry, layering his newfound life with an intricate web of security systems and traps. Each step he took further solidified his existence in the shadows, shielding him from the looming threats that pursued him. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months, as Daniel honed his skills of living incognito. He adopted aliases and changed his appearance, navigating the murky underbelly of the city with utmost caution. Behind the guise of a nondescript existence, he quietly ventured into the darkest corners, where those desperate for salvation sought solace. But as Daniel witnessed the consequences of a world teetering on the precipice of despair, a newfound purpose kindled within him. It transformed into a beacon of hope, a catalyst for change that could disrupt the destructive grip of violence and addiction that plagued society. Contemplating the possibilities, Daniel saw a glimmer of hope in his creation. If he could mass-produce these machines and make them widely available, perhaps people would choose a different path. Perhaps they would turn away from the violent cartels and the stranglehold of addiction. Perhaps a more peaceful world could emerge from the ashes. Driven by this newfound mission, Daniel delved into the realm of commerce, using his extensive knowledge and expertise to establish a secret network of clients. Operating under aliases and with encrypted channels of communication, he began manufacturing the desktop chemical synthesizers in secret, distributing them to those who sought an alternative to the destructive forces that plagued society. Word spread, whispers circulated through the underworld, and those in the know recognized the potential of Daniel's creation. The once omnipotent cartels trembled at the mere notion of their empire crumbling beneath the weight of innovation. For the first time, their grip on power was slipping, and fear clawed at their hearts. But as the network grew, so did the risks. Dark forces began to take notice, their eyes fixed on the elusive inventor whose actions threatened to dismantle their carefully constructed empire. The shadows, once his ally, now conspired against him, as the very darkness that had nurtured his transformation began to reveal its treacherous nature. Daniel knew that his days of anonymity were numbered, that the storm of danger was drawing ever closer. The pursuit of redemption had ignited a fire within him, but it came at a constant dance on the precipice of discovery and peril. With each passing day, the walls of his subterranean hideout felt narrower, the air growing heavy with the weight of impending reckoning. But he refused to quit, his resolve unyielding. For the dream of a better world, he was prepared to face the darkest depths of human greed and the malevolence that lurked within the corridors of power. As the shadows lengthened, Daniel stood at the precipice, poised to unleash a force that could shift the balance of power. The world held its breath, unaware of the storm brewing beneath its surface that could either be the harbinger of a peaceful revolution or the catalyst for unimaginable chaos. The choice, as it always had been, lay within the hands of those who dared to seek change. The scent of jasmine wafted through the dimly lit alleyway, mingling with the faint flicker of streetlights. Daniel stood at the rendezvous point, his heart pounding in anticipation. He clutched the package containing one of his revolutionary machines, unsure of the path he had embarked upon. She appeared like a wisp of smoke, materializing from the depths of the night. A mysterious young woman, her eyes gleaming with a mix of curiosity and caution. Their interaction was fleeting, like a passing gust of wind, yet in that brief moment, something indescribable stirred within Daniel's heart. Their exchange was minimal, mere whispers in the cacophony of their lives. The transaction completed, the machine passed into her possession. But as she turned to leave, a connection, intangible and unforeseen, tugged at Daniel's soul. Days turned into nights, and nights into sleepless hours, as the image of the mysterious woman plagued Daniel's thoughts. Her face danced in his dreams, her presence lingering in the recesses of his mind. The attraction that had bloomed within him was inexplicable, its tendrils weaving through his thoughts, whispering of possibilities unknown. Regret gnawed at his conscience. He had sold her the power to create, the potential for good intertwined with the potential for harm. The fear that his creation could bring about her downfall weighed heavily upon him, intertwining with his burgeoning affection. He longed to undo the transaction, to protect her from the shadows that encroached upon their lives. Driven by an overwhelming need, Daniel began to search for her, a needle in the haystack of the city's bustling existence. With each step, his heart raced, uncertainty mingling with hope. The streets became his canvas, the people his brushstrokes, as he sought to unravel the tapestry of her existence. Whispers guided him to a hidden sanctuary for those who preferred the cloak of anonymity. And there, amidst the warm embrace of fragrant coffee and hushed conversations, he found her again. The mystery woman, her eyes fixed on a book, her thoughts a fortress he yearned to breach. Summoning every ounce of courage, Daniel approached her, his voice wavering as he spoke her name. She looked up, a flicker of recognition illuminating her features. Their words were few, their exchange fraught with unspoken emotion. Yet, in that moment, a silent understanding passed between them that their paths were inexorably intertwined. In the tangled web of their lives, they found solace in each other's presence, a refuge from the storms that raged within and without. But the shadows that lurked in the periphery threatened to engulf their fragile sanctuary. Daniel's fear for her safety deepened, his desire to shield her from the dangers of the world consuming his every thought. As their bond deepened, he questioned the morality of his creation, grappling with the responsibility that came with wielding such power. In the depths of their burgeoning affection, Daniel resolved to right the wrongs he had set into motion. He would temper the flames of his invention, guiding its potential towards a future where harm could be transformed into healing. And together, they would forge a path through the treacherous terrain of their intertwined destiny. For in the enigmatic connection they shared, Daniel discovered a strength that surpassed the limitations of his solitary existence. Love and redemption entwined, propelling them forward into the unknown as the world stood poised on the precipice of transformation. In the annals of history, their names were never etched with certainty, their fate forever enshrouded in mystery. The story of Daniel and the mysterious woman became a whispered legend, a tale passed down through the generations. Some spoke of their glorious triumph, of a love that transcended the bounds of time and space. Others whispered of tragedy, of two souls lost to the relentless currents of fate. The city itself became a canvas of speculation, its streets forever haunted by the echo of their presence. Some claimed to have seen glimpses of them, ethereal figures intertwined in a dance of intimacy and secrecy. Others dismissed such sightings as the fabrications of restless imaginations, but the truth, elusive and enigmatic, remained hidden in the folds of the universe. Perhaps they found sanctuary in each other's arms, their love a beacon that defied the dark forces that threatened to consume them. Or perhaps their path led them to an untimely demise, their spirits forever locked in an eternal embrace. Yet, in the absence of certainty, one thing remained indubitable. It was a collision of souls, an alignment of destinies that reverberated through time. Their love, pure and profound, defied the limitations of mortal existence, leaving an indelible mark upon the fabric of the universe. Their tale became a reminder that life's most poignant moments are often shrouded in ambiguity, their power lying in the unspoken, the unsolved, the unknown. It was a testament to the unfathomable depths of human connection, a reminder that the meeting of souls could transcend the boundaries of comprehension. And so, the story of Daniel and the mysterious woman lingered as a poignant enigma, an eternal question mark in the tapestry of history. Their presence, though shrouded in ambiguity, held the power to inspire, to ignite the imagination, and to remind the world of the profound miracles that unfold in the most unexpected corners of existence. In the whispers of the wind and the flickering of distant stars, their love endured, their souls entwined in the vast expanse of eternity. The city bore witness to their enigmatic legacy, its streets forever echoing with the tale of a love that defied time and circumstances. And as the world carried on, its inhabitants forever touched by the echoes of Daniel and the mysterious woman, the true nature of their fate remained veiled, locked away in the chambers of the universe, a secret shared only by those who dared to dream and wonder.